What's up, everybody? My name is Jessica Johnson.
And I'm Jack Johnson.
And welcome back to our channel.
Quick heads up. Today we're going to be talking about some adult content.
Yeah.
This is the warning. We are going to talk about some things that maybe are a little bit or more adult in nature. Okay, so you may not know this, but Jessica and I waited to have sex until we were married.
Can you tell? I don't know what that means.
Me neither. But a lot of people have asked us one question about that. Why? To give some context to all of this, one thing you need to know is that from the beginning of this conversation, Jessica and I have very different but broken pasts. Our stories are not perfect, but they got us to where we are today.
In my case, my past, if I'm just being honest, Jack was not the first person that I slept with. And I had sex with my previous boyfriends, and I was a victim of sexual assault.
My story is a little bit different, but you may or may not know this. I was previously married and then divorced. So it looks a little differently, but it's definitely still a broken past. It can be easier for me to trust God with the big things. The things that I have no control over, like forgiving of sins and heaven and hell and all these complicated subjects, but they're all things that I can't do anything to change anyways. It's kind of like I don't know a ton about computers, and so when my computer breaks, I send it to someone who knows a lot, and I don't really try to mix and meddle in the way he fixes it or the way he chooses to do things because I don't know a better way. I don't even think I know a better way. I know nothing. So it's easy just to put it in his hands. But then when it comes to subjects though that maybe I know something about, all of a sudden I gotta put my hands on it. I gotta touch it. I know you're an expert, but have you thought about this? My way of doing things. And when it comes to God, that's so dumb. It's like, God, I know you're king of the universe. I know you're gonna change my eternal destiny. But when it comes to sex or maybe my finances or sex, I got this. You got good ideas, God, but I got this. So if I'm gonna trust God with the big things, I might as well trust him with everything, and that includes my sex life.
So for me, my story led me to a place where I knew that what I was doing was not working. And so I knew that whatever God had to offer had to be better. It had to be better than how I was currently living my life because I was hurt. I was sad and I was broken.
And you might be thinking, well, how do you know if God's way is the best way? Mm-hmm. And the fact is, for one, you don't. It's a step of faith. But when it comes to life, you either put your whole trust in God or you don't. The Bible is not some list of do's and don'ts and thous and these and all these things. If he says don't do something, it's because there's an enemy who wants to ruin your life. And he says don't do that because it'll ruin your life. Don't sleep with someone before you're married because it'll complicate things. It'll make your relationship worse, not better. The don'ts are meant to protect you and for your good. Guys, God invented sex. I'm confident he knows how to have a best sex life.
Well, you guys didn't actually wait for each other. He was previously married. You had been with other people. Like, does it still count? Yeah, we did actually still wait for each other, even though in the physical, it might not look that way because of Jesus. So we believe that when Jesus died on the cross, it counted for us, and he took our sin, our shame, our past, our baggage with him. That when Jesus said, "It is finished," he meant it.
So, even with the entirety of both of our stories, all of our hurt, all of our baggage, our entire stories, we were still able to come into this marriage with a clean slate. So that means we can put our whole trust in Jesus and believe that we can have an amazing marriage, an amazing sex life that's pure, despite what we've gone through in the past.
But I do want to add a reality check. Just because our hearts are surrendered to the Lord and all that jazz,
The Lord.
that doesn't mean that we're not suddenly attracted to each other. In fact, it's a good thing. So I say that because there is a challenge involved. Like, yeah, during engagement season, we wanted each other, but we saw the greater value in knowing that we can wait and it'll be worth it.
For me, sometimes it's easy to look at things as like just don't do that. Don't, no. And when you're doing life that way, it's hard because you're constantly trying to avoid something. And all of a sudden, when we shifted perspective and we put it in the position of God had something for us, He wasn't against something, He actually had something good for us. That's what we were going to. And when we saw how valuable and amazing sex life done God's way was, it made it easier then to choose in those difficult moments, in those tempting moments, to say, hold up, this would be fun, but I want the best. I want to swing for the fence. I want an amazing sex life, an amazing marriage. And the only way to do that is by doing it God's way. Well, that's all we're going to say about that. I'm Jack Johnson.
And I'm Jessica Johnson.
If you like this video, please
subscribe if you want to, or like this page, like this channel, or even follow us on Instagram.
Okay, bye.
See you later.